Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud. We learn to lead. My name is Vikas. Welcome friends to the Independence Day sale. We are giving up to 70% off. Just use the code Vikas10 and you will be getting an additional 70% off on all the purchase of any course from our app. Alright, it is a happy Independence Day sale that is from 7th of August to the 16th of August. Don't miss out this chance and go and grab your course as fast as possible, because after 16th of August this sale will end and you won't be able to avail the 70% off. So friends, in this video we will be discussing about some of the most important current affairs of the topic science and technology of the June month. The video will be very helpful to you, so do watch the video till the end, hit the like button and share the link of this video with your friends. So friends, we'll start with our session, but before that we have something important to tell you about. We have an app by the name Careers Cloud which you can go and download through the Play Store. Once you have downloaded the app, you will open the app and you will see this type of screen. In this, you can go and log in with your Google account, that is your Gmail ID. Then once you have logged in, then you will be moved to this page where you can see a window. If you click on the current affairs section here, then you will be moved to this page. Now this is where magic happens. This is the course where there are two courses provided by us. First, you should know it is of 1 year and 2 years. So choose your course accordingly. What we are providing and what is the reason behind that you should purchase course of current affairs from us, and what are the important details about it. First thing, you should know that we provide you current affairs in both English and Hindi. Okay. Also, we provide you here current affairs daily. PDFs are provided daily. The important factor here to remember is we are providing PDF to you daily. Okay, that contains question answers of the daily current affairs. They are explained in a much easy way where you can grasp the knowledge and do your revision. Okay, apart from app, we provide you with question answers. Then on every day we provide you 20 question answers quiz, daily 20 questions quiz. So imagine how much it will benefit you in your preparation. Then we provide you same thing for weekly. In weekly we take a quiz of 50 questions. Then question answers of week, we provide you a book, PDF is provided you weekly of the compiled questions of the whole week. Similarly for monthly also, ebook is given, your quizzes are taken, question answers PDF. Then apart from it, we also help you to prepare for banking papers. All the banking exams you can go refer to our videos and our courses here. You can see here that we provide you banking and economic quiz of 157 questions. Okay, then topic wise PDFs are covered. As you can see, we are making videos on indexes and reports, important days, the books and authors, all the events that are taking place in individual months. So these PDFs are provided to you and they will help you a lot in your preparation for journal awareness, your journal studies, as well as for current affairs. Then you can see we also provide you current affairs for state-wise current affairs are provided to you. Apart from this, I have a gift for all of my friends here. If you use my code Vikas10, you will be getting a straight 10% discount on the purchase you make. So when you are about to check out and do the payment, just before the payment, you will be getting an option to use the promo code. There you can put the Vikas10, the code, and you will be getting an extra 10% discount on the total purchase you make there. So let's start with our video. So friends, before starting the MCQ questions, first we'll be looking at some of the one-liner questions. So friends, let's start with our session. First is Tianzhou 2. This is a cargo spacecraft. As you can see here, this is the cargo spacecraft that has docked with the China space station module. As we know, China is building their own international space station because USA has not given them permission to use the existing international space station. All right, because it was built by NASA and USA. All right, so in that matter, Tianzhou 2, that is a cargo spacecraft here, this has docked with the China's own personal space station. Let's look at the data further. China launched cargo spacecraft Tianzhou 2 or Heavenly Vessel through Long March 7 Y3 rocket from the Weicheng Space Launch Center on southern island of Hainan. Remember this Long March 7 Y3 rocket. This was used to launch Tianzhou 2 or heavenly vessel to the China's space station that they are building current by the name Tiangong Space Station. All right, so Tiangzhou was attached, or you can say this means attached, or you can say locked or docked with the space station, that is your Tiangong space station, and this is the space station of China. Moving on, the spacecraft is carrying supplies, equipments, propellants docked with the space station's key module Tianhe. This launch is the part of the construction of the Tiangong space station, as I just mentioned. If we talk about Tiangzhou 2, it is the second of 11 missions needed to complete the China's first self-developed space station around 2022. Do remember this information also. China's space station, that is your Tiangong space station, will be completed by 2022. The first cargo spacecraft Tiangzhou 1 was sent to refuel a space lab Tiangong 2 three times in 2017. Then if we talk about the future enhancement, China will launch two other core modules, Wentian and Mengtian, using the Long March 5B rocket to the International Space Station, that is the Tiangong International Space Station they are building. The name of this is Tiangong Space Station. Then what is the reason? As I just mentioned, that United States has banned China to participate in the International Space Station. Now due to that matter, China want to explore space, so that is the reason they are building the Tiangong Space Station for their own use. Alright, so recently which cargo spacecraft was launched to attach or to be docked with the China's space station module? It is your Tiangzhou 2, as you can see here in the picture. Moving on. Next we'll be talking about wooden satellite, and we have discussed this question multiple number of times. Wooden satellite by the name Woodsat, you can say, that will be launched by New Zealand. Alright, it will be launched by New Zealand. Who is developing this space station? It is developed by European Space Agency. Alright, will launch the world's wooden satellite, that is Vaisa Woodsat, designed and built in Finland on Earth's orbit by the end of 2021. It will be launched on a Rocket Lab's Electron rocket from the Mahina Peninsula Launch Complex in New Zealand. Direct question: from where Vaisa Woodsat will be launched? It will be launched from New Zealand, or from which country is launching the Vaisa Woodsat? So New Zealand is launching the Vaisa Woodsat. What is Vaisa Woodsat? It is the first wooden satellite. Who developed this? It was developed by European Space Agency. Okay, and where it was built? It was built in Finland. Then if we talk about Vaisa Woodsat, it is a 10 by 10 by 10 centimeter nanometer satellite shaped like a cube. Alright, 10 centimeter nano satellite. It is built up from standardized boxes and surfaces panels made from the plywood used for making furniture. It is non-wooden. External parts are only corner aluminum rails for the deployment into space and a metal self stick. It will orbit around 500 to 600 km altitude in roughly polar sun synchronous orbit. It is placed in the thermal vacuum chamber for keeping it dry in space. Then what is the reason behind launching this wooden satellite? The reason behind sending the wooden satellite into space is to test the durability of wooden material for future space missions by exposing it to the extreme space conditions such as heat, cold, vacuum, radiation, and for the extended period of time. Then if we talk about the European Space Agency, where is the headquarter? It is in Paris, France. It was established in year 1975 and the Director General is Jose Echevarría. Alright, moving on. Next we'll be talking about a trusted telecom portal that was launched by the Government of India. Let's talk what this is all about. The Government of India has launched the Trusted Telecom Portal as a part of the National Security Directive on the telecommunication sector under what? Under NSDTS. This NSDTS is your National Security Directive on telecommunication sector to declare a list of trusted sources and products for the installation of the country's telecom networks. What are the telecom networks? That provides you the signals to your mobile phones, that provides data, that provides internet connection to your mobile phones. All right, so these are the telecom networks such as Airtel, Vodafone Idea, then your Geo. All right, then the portal was developed and implemented by CODT, that is your Center for Development and Telematics, and the R&D, that is Research and Development Unit of the government, along with the Railtel and National Security Council Secretariat. The objective is important. It is to ensure the security of telecom networks, especially with the fifth generation services, and to discourage the use of China made gear in the country's core network. Moving on, next is your a news related to IIT Kharagpur. Where is IIT Kharagpur? IIT Kharagpur is in your West Bengal. Then they, along with the Yantai Institute of Coastal Zone Research, has developed a technique to detect the cyclones way before the weather satellites detect it. All right, that means they have came up with some sort of a technology that can predict the cyclones that are coming in future even before the weather satellites predict them. Which two institutes developed it? It was the Indian Institute of Technology of Kharagpur and Yantai Institute of Coastal Zone Research in China. They together has developed this, and this developed a technique to detect the formation of cyclones in the North Indian Ocean region at least 90 hours before the weather satellites. This study is published in the journal Atmospheric Research. The study is conducted under the Climate Change Program with support from the Center's Department of Science and Technology. After analyzing the post-monsoon severe cyclones and pre-monsoon cyclones that developed over the North India Ocean, the team set out a parameter, namely Ukubu vis Jita. When the parameter crosses the threshold value, it will indicate the formation of a cyclone. Just remember the name of the two institutes and what they developed. Moving on, and this is important, you need to know the information. Direct question will be asked. Recently, NSA, that is your National Security Advisor, Sir Ajit Doval, has commissioned Indian Coast Guard's offshore vessel, that is your OPV, offshores patrol vessel. And what is the name of it? It is your INS Shahjag. All right, or you can say SAGAJAG. INS Shahjag is the new offshore patrol vessel of the Indian Coast Guard, and it has been recently commissioned. Moving on, direct question, remember it. And who, if it is asked who commissioned it or it was commissioned by which person, so it was commissioned by our NSA, Sir Ajit Doval. Moving on, next we'll be talking about the agri-service e-marketplace that was launched by CSC and SPB. What are CSC and SPB? Let's look at it first. CSC is your common service centers, and that is your CSC, Common Service Centers of the E-Governance India Limited, has unveiled a unique agri-service portal. Every agri-service portal, that means this is a website. All right, and that will act as a one-step destination and marketplace for small farmers. So question can be asked, agri-service portal will be helping or is made up for whom? It will be providing service to whom? It will be providing service to small farmers. It is being developed by whom? It is being developed by CSC. All right, then what is the aim of this portal? It is to empower small and marginal farmers who constitute 86% of the India's farming community. If we talk about this agri-service e-marketplace, it can be accessed through the portal cscagri.in that will provide services to farmers with ease at an affordable cost. Small and marginal farmers who do not have easy access to the digital world can avail essential agriculture services through this portal. Remember, this is your agri service portal. Who developed it? It developed by CSC. It is for small farmers. Do remember this. Moving on. Next we'll be talking about MBTag. MBTag is a IoT device, that is your Internet of Things. All right, this device has been developed by IIT Roper. But what this device is a first indigenously temperature data logger for the cold change management. For what? Actually, you can, in layman term, if I say, like a freezer. All right, it will actually store the data of what is there in stored products, such as there can be foods, medicines. So it will note down the temperature before it gets rot, and it will actually help in the future development of many storage devices. All right, if we look at the data, Indian Institute of Technology Ropar, that is in Punjab, has developed MBTech, that is the India's first Internet of Thing device, which will record the real-time temperature of the perishable products. What are perishable products? That get decayed or are of no use after some time, or you can say the perishable products are the products that actually have expiry date, such as food, dairy, vaccines, body organs, bloods during transportation. All right, so such organs get of no use after some period of time, or if they are stored below a certain temperature. MBTech was developed under the Technology Innovation Hub, that is AVADH, that is Agriculture and Water Technology Development Hub, and its startup Scratch Nest. All right, so who developed this MBTech? Developed by IIT Ropar, Punjab, for the recording the temperature or real-time temperature of the perishable products. Next, we'll be talking about SpaceX. SpaceX is a space organization or a space company that develops rockets and takes and has a future plan to colonize the Mars. So, if we talk about SpaceX now, recently SpaceX rocket carried squids and microorganisms to the International Space Station. As I told you, this is a rocket making company and has various services, like it transports various products or various goods from the Earth to the International Space Station, and they were recently now for this mission were sponsored by NASA to take squids and microorganisms to International Space Station. Moving on, as a part of the mission, Space Dragon's capsule was launched abroad and Falcon 9 rocket was used to take this Space Dragon capsule, SpaceX Dragon capsule into the space. It was launched from Florida, USA. This capsule contained supplies for the International Space Station's scientific instruments such as new high-tech solar panels and living organisms such as squids and a microorganism called tardigrades. We remember these tardigrades. These were earlier also in news because they were the organisms which survived on the International Space Station, and they were found in the International Space Stations in the living condition. All right, so they were now transferred along with the squids to ISS using the SpaceX Dragon capsule. And if we are talking about rocket, so Falcon 9 rocket was used to transfer them to ISS. It is SpaceX 22nd station supply run for the NASA. It is the fifth spacecraft currently parked at the ISS. What was the purpose? The purpose was the capsule contains 20,000 tardigrades or water bears which are capable of surviving harsh conditions. It will also help in understanding the stresses on the human body during the long space stays. Newly hatched bioluminescent bobtail squids have also been sent. It is a part of an experiment to study symbiotic or mutually beneficial relationship between animals, hosts, and microbes in space. The results from this experiment will provide insights into keeping astronauts healthy and safe in space. Alright, so which two organisms were sent into space? Squids and a microorganism, tardigrades. Using SpaceX Dragon capsule, or the if we are talking about rocket, Falcon 9 rocket, from where they were launched from Florida, USA, and where they will taking this supplies, they will be taking these supplies to International Space Station. Moving on. Next, we'll be talking about an artificial sun that was recently developed by which country? It was developed by China, and China has set a new record, or you can say a new world record, that to run at a 120 million degrees Celsius temperature for 101 seconds. I repeat, China has set a new world record to run this artificial sun for 101 seconds at a temperature of 120 million degrees Celsius. Alright, so remember the question will be which country recently developed an artificial sun? It was developed by China. And if the temperature is asked, 120 million degrees Celsius was attained by China. Then China's experimental advanced superconducting tokamak, that is your EAST project, or known as artificial sun. It can also be asked, artificial sun is also known as experimental advanced superconducting tokamak or EAST, has set a new world record by running at 216 million degree Fahrenheit or 120 million degree Celsius for 101 seconds. For another 20 seconds, the artificial sun also achieved a peak temperature of 288 million degree Fahrenheit or 160 million degree Celsius. So this was the highest temperature attained by this EAST or the artificial sun, which is over 10 times hotter than the sun. That means on Earth now the temperature has been achieved that is 10 times hotter than temperature of sun. Then the device replicates the nuclear fission process carried out by the sun. These processes leave no nuclear waste and have the potential to provide unlimited clean energy at low costs. The experiment was conducted at the Institute of Plasma Physics of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, that is in China. The yeast, that is this artificial sun, creates nuclear fission like the sun using the deuterium that is present in the sea. Alright, moving on. Next, we'll be talking about amphotericin. Amphotericin has been developed by IIT Hyderabad, and this amphotericin is the oral-based tablets to treat post-COVID fungal infections. As we saw that after COVID-19, many patients were coming up with fungal infections. All right, post-COVID fungal infections. To treat them, an oral tablet has been developed by the name amphotericin B or AMB by IIT Hyderabad. Next, we'll be talking about Cosmos platform through using the iSTEM for academic researchers. What is this iSTEM and what is this Cosmos platform? See, using this iSTEM, a Cosmos multi-physics software has been developed and using this iSTEM portal. Alright, what is this? Let's look at it. iSTEM, first of all, know the full form of iSTEM. Indian Science, Technology and Engineering Facilities Map, that is your iSTEM, the national portal for sharing R&D facilities, and the Cosmos Group have entered into a partnership for Indian academic users to access the Cosmos multi-physics software suite that has been developed using the iSTEM portal. It is a first of its kind portal in India. First thing, what is the software? Cosmos multi-physics software suite. Suite is a software. Alright, so this has been developed using what? Developed iSTEM portal. Developed by whom? Developed by Comsol Group. Alright, it is an first of kind in India. Then the Comsol software suite developed by the Comsol Group is used globally as a tool for variety of computer simulations for R&D and also for learning and instructions. Alright, for various research and development projects, this Cosmos Group has developed various computer simulations and various softwares so that can be used in the research and development process. The suite will be hosted on cloud server to provide user-friendly access from anywhere in India. It will assist many students and researchers in India, especially those in remote and less endowed institutions. Then if we talk about iSTEM, iSTEM portal, it is an initiative of the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor of the Government of India under PM's STIAC mission, that is your Prime Minister's Science, Technology and Innovation Advisory Council. This aims to strengthen the research and development ecosystem by connecting researchers with the resources. This portal features a digital catalog of indigenously developed technologies and products and a platform for various city knowledge and innovation clusters that will enhance R&D collaboration and skill development across India. All right. So, using this iSTEM portal, what was developed? A Comsol multi-physics software was developed by the Comsol Group, and just remember this is a multi-physics software. Next, we'll be talking about a CPAC device. All right, a new and powerful CPAC device has been developed by IIT Ropar, and it has been named as Jeevan Vayu. All right, so let's look at the data. This Jeevan Vayu that has been developed by Indian Institute of Technology Ropar, that is in Punjab. This Jeevan Vayu is India's first continuous positive airway pressure, that is CPAC device that can function without electricity. Jeevan Vayu can be used as a substitute for the CPAP machine. What are the importance and why this CPAP machine is important? This CPAP machine is a method for the treatment for COVID for the patients with sleep apnea, breathing difficulties during sleep. To enable easy breathing, the machine uses mild air pressure to keep the airway open. This treatment is essential during the early stages of COVID-19 infection. This method reduces lungs damage and allows patient to recover from inflammatory effects. All right. So this CPAP device has been named as Jeevan Vayu and developed by Indian Institute of Technology at Ropar, Punjab. All right. Next, we'll be talking about Envision mission. to Venus, and by which space agency it is done? By European Space Agency. Name of the mission is Envision mission, and this mission is for the planet Venus. If we look at the data, European Space Agency has announced their launching of probe called Envision to Venus, and it will be probably launched in the early 2030. The objective is to study planet's atmosphere and surface and monitor trace gases in the atmosphere and analyze its surface composition. So if it is asked, Envision is a probe of which country or which space agency? It is the probe of European Space Agency that will be launching to which planet? It will be launching to Venus, and it will be launched in early 2030. That will study the composition of the gases in the atmosphere as well as on the surface. Moving on. Next, read this name, PACIFI. PACIFI is an international collaborative sky survey that was led by an Indian astronaut. I repeat, PACIFI, it is an international collaborative sky survey that was led by an Indian astronomer. Let's look at the data. Polar area stellar imaging in polarization high accuracy experiment, that is PACIFI. I repeat, Polar area stellar imaging in polarization high accuracy experiment, PACIFI, is an instrument that is used in sky surveys to study stars and is being led by an Indian astronomer. The objective of this was to study the polarization in the light coming from the million of stars. What was the key point that you need to remember here? That this project has been funded with $1 million or roughly 7.39 crore rupees by each by Infosys Foundation in India, Stavros Nikiforos Foundation in Greece, and USA's National Science Foundation, combined with the contribution from the European Research Council and the National Research Foundation in South Africa. This instrument will survey the night sky in the southern and northern hemisphere using high quality optical polarimeters. The instrument will put more focus on faint polarization that takes place in light coming from away stars, which are not yet properly studied. Measurements obtained from this GAIA satellite, the project will help to understand the mysteries surrounding the origin of the universe. So this mission or this mission's name, PACIFI, it is a survey of sky that will be led by Indian astronomer. Question can be direct, that what is the name of the sky survey that was recently led by an Indian astronomer? It is PACIFI. Next, we'll be talking about Nasha Mukt Bharat, that was in actual annual action plan for the year 2020-2021. Alright, I repeat, Nasha Mukt Bharat was in annual action plan for the year 2020-2021. Let's look at it and why this is important. To celebrate International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking on 26th of June, the theme was Better Knowledge for Better Care. First question. Better Knowledge for Better Care, theme for International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, that is observed on 26th of June. Then Ratan Lal Kataria, who is the Minister of State for Social Justice and Empowerment, has virtually launched what? Nasha Mukt Bharat Annual Action Plan for the year 2020-2021 for 272 most affected districts. Where from this was launched? This was launched from New Delhi. He also released logo and tagline for National Action Plan for Drug Demand Reduction for the 2018-2025 and 9 video spots produced for drug abuse prevention. If we talk about Nasha Mukt Bharat Annual Action Plan, as a part of Nasha Mukt Bharat Annual Action Plan, 3 combining efforts of the Narcotics Bureau, outreach awareness by social justice, and treatment through the health department will be launched. The aim of the plan is to reach out to children and youth for awareness about ill effects of drug use, increase community participation and public cooperation, supporting government hospitals for opening de-addiction centers in addition to existing ministry supported de-addiction centers, and conducting training programs for the participants. So basically, to reduce the drug addicts in India, this Nasha Mukt Bharat Annual Action Plan was launched. By whom? It was launched by Ratan Lal Kataria ji, who is the Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment. Moving on. Next we'll be talking about 2 missions that was launched to Venus. By whom? By NASA. All right, so NASA's two new missions to Venus, they are Da Vinci and Veritas. I repeat, Da Vinci and Veritas are the two missions of NASA to land on Venus. Next, this is your NASA. National Aeronautics and Space Administration has planned to implement two missions, Da Vinci Plus and Veritas, to Venus, Earth's nearest and also called as the sister planet of Earth. NASA will spend $5 million for each mission. Both missions are expected to launch between 2028 to 2030. Then if we talk about Da Vinci, it is for short deep atmosphere Venus investigation of noble gases, chemistry and imaging. And Veritas, it is an acronym for Venus Emissivity Radioscience INSAR Topography and Spectroscopy. The mission aims to study the atmospheric and geological features of Venus, and also known as the Earth's sister planet. The closest planet to Earth and the second most from the Sun, Venus is similar in structure but slightly smaller and much warmer than the Earth. Alright, so two missions are Da Vinci Plus and Veritas of NASA to be launched by 2028 to 2030, and it will be launched on what? Venus planet. That is also known as the sister planet. Then if we talk about NASA, it was established in 1958. Headquarters is in Washington DC, USA, and administrator is Bill Nelson. Washington DC, it is also the headquarters of World Bank and International Monetary Fund. Moving on. Next we'll be talking about Google. Google has built the longest undersea cable in the world, and it has been named as Firmina cable. Firmina cable, it is the longest undersea cable in the world, and that has been built by Google. Let's look at the data. Google has announced its plan of connecting the USA, that is United States of America, with Southern American countries by constructing an open subsea cable. The subsea cable was named Firmina, honoring Brazil's first poet Maria Firmina do Reci. It is the world's longest subsea cable, which is capable of fully operating through a single power source in case if other power sources become temporarily unavailable. Firmina will be connecting the east coast of USA with Las Tonias, that is in Argentina, and additional landings in Pereira Grande in Brazil and Punta del Este in Uruguay. Alright, then if we talk about the features of this Firmina, it uses 12 pairs of fiber optical cables to carry high speed data traffic with utmost data security, and longest ever cable to be features single ended power feedability capability. Provides low latency to Google service. That means low latency means the errors and the losses will be less to Google services. And the important thing here is the location. It will be connecting what? It will be connecting the east coast of USA with Argentina, and additional it will be connecting Brazil and Uruguay also in between. It has been developed by Google and its name is Firmina. It is the what? It is the largest or the world's longest subsea cable. Next. So friends, this was our video. I hope you enjoyed our video. If you liked our video, do hit the like button, share the link with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel or if you are new to our channel, then do subscribe because it motivates us to bring a better content for you guys. Also, if you have any trouble regarding login or payment or any other issues, then you can reach to us on our mail, that is support@affairscloud.com, or you can call us on the number 9677333862 and we'll resolve your issue as soon as possible. Also, you should go and check our courses that are available at a very reasonable price, and that will help you to boost your preparations for upcoming government exams. You can use the code VIKAS10 to get a straight 10% discount on any purchase you make. Alright, so that's all for the day. Take care.